Well, the time is just gone 9:56 as we continue this morning with the Crime Talk Weekly Edition with Mohammed Batman Ismail from eThekwini Secure. Now, how often have we seen this in communities? In fact, I've seen it in my community. Sometimes we see it in the community group, WhatsApp groups about people that just don't take responsibility for a lot of things that they do. And also, just looking at generally taking responsibility. Always this whole idea about this is not my problem, this is somebody else's problem. And whether we're talking about dumping, whether we're keeping our streets clean, whatever it is, at the end of the day, it is always somebody else's problem. But it's not my problem. And this is the reason why we are talking with Mohammed Batman Ismail. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inayat, it's not my problem, so why are you interviewing me? That's what I'd like to say. Do you understand? The,
Well, it's
the
not
thing
my
is,
problem to interview you.
the thing is, Inayat, community responsibility is a very important thing. It's, you have to have a holistic approach. And I think there's a great apathy in what we are doing as a community. We rather dump our dirt on the side of the road, hoping that somebody will pick it up, or somebody will clean it, or DSW will pick it up, for example. But why do we have to dump excessively, except for what is needed to be picked up? Why are we not using the disposal yards? Why are we not recycling? Those are the important issues. And what we do find, and what I have found over the years, is that people always say, "Can somebody do this? Can you report this problem? Can you do that? Why can't you do it yourself?" So we went on a drive as eThekwini Secure and as councillors, and we went on a drive to tell people, these are the numbers you've got to use. These are the emails. Start taking responsibility and start doing that. And then it goes back to ratepayers. When ratepayers come together and start doing what they have to do and having the community meetings and doing that. But then again, there's a lot of apathy on behalf of residents who just don't care. And that mindset needs to change because our communities are degenerating at an alarming rate.
Well, definitely. And also, I think, you speak about apathy. And this is a general problem within communities. And again, it's about taking pride of your area. It is about taking pride of your community. And particularly, I think one of the biggest issues you mentioned is dumping. And dumping is right across. There are times when, for instance, your refuse removal guys are not there. And we become so used to this lack of service delivery that we start now taking matters in our own hands. And you'll find it. In fact, I've seen it in our area as well, where people in the darkness of the night just going and dumping or taking their rubbish and putting it into somebody else's bin. And again, it's a total lack of respect for someone else, Moment.
Oh, absolutely. It starts with a self, Unite. If you don't have respect in your own homes, in your own yards, and you just let it decay, obviously you're going to do the same in the streets. But service delivery is one thing, and taking responsibility is another. Completely two different issues. So I mean, obviously, if you look at a small area, for example, and I'm going to use Overport as an example because I live in Overport, and you'd find it almost on every street corner there's dumping, and then you get the cardboard collectors who tear open the packets, and it just creates more and more and more mess. So businesses need to take responsibility in terms of how they dispose of their refuse. Residents need to take responsibility of how they dispose of their refuse. And if you just yesterday I took a drive to a town outside Overboard, not even about 3 or 4 kilometers away, and it's clean. It's clean. So what are the people there doing to keep their streets clean and tidy as opposed to another community? So again, it's a lack of responsibility, and we just think, hey, it's somebody else's problem. We'll throw it on the corner. We leave it. Either DSW will pick it up, or someone else will pick it up, or some recycling person will pick it up. So, and there has to be structured programs in a community. You have to have perhaps a dump yard, or you have to have a recycling program where people take these matters seriously, and thereby we will reduce the carbon footprint by recycling. That's important. The environment is important because the pollution is growing by the day. Oceans are polluted, streets are polluted, the air is poor, air quality is poor. So what are we doing to ourselves in that process? So it's a holistic approach where we've got to start from within the homes to inculcate ourselves and to enable ourselves and our children to make them understand the responsibilities of having a healthy environment, a clean street, a clean corner. Because we walk these streets, we drive through these streets, and it's unsightly. horrifying, absolutely horrible, and that needs to be corrected.
Yes, and also I think what you say is very important is to be informed and to be educated about these things. But again, this is not rocket science. We're talking about just pure common sense and doing the right thing.
Oh, absolutely. Are we lacking common sense? I don't know. Or other things taking greater priority in terms of what we need to do in our lives? Are we starting on our doorstep, or are we worrying about what's happening 10,000 miles across the borders of our countries? It's diverse, but we have to start somewhere. And again, you have to have a sustainable solution, and that starts with the people in the community who will take responsibility for how we live and how we keep our streets clean and tidy, moving forward to a better living environment. And that's important.
Well, Mohammed, Jazakallah for that. And as always, an absolute pleasure engaging with you and for highlighting this very, very important issue within our communities. We wish you well. Have yourself a wonderful day ahead, inshallah. Assalamu
Jazakallah
alaikum
very
wa
much.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, that was Mohammed Batman Ismail from eThekwini Secure this morning. And with that, we're heading for the news. A lot more to unpack when we get back after the news.